we'll go step by step about how to do it. So to define or to give a definition about what is employer branding, for me will be like, it's the same as branding. What is branding? The promise we do to the clients about how will be our product or our service. So employer branding is exactly the same. It's the promise we make to someone about how it's going to be working in our company. So I always say like, okay, as a company, we have like two main goals or two main targets or two main customers, let's say this way. So we have one customer that is the one who is paying our services or is paying our products or buying our products. But the other one, and it comes first. And I think it's the interesting part, because what we talk about today and all in the quartet sessions is not just for the HR department. I think it's for everyone in the company, but also like for CEOs. Yesterday we were talking about this with the CEOs, like, okay, I see now the importance of having the best people. So I want to learn about how do I attract these people and how I keep them engaged. So this is the part to do it. Like how do I attract the best people? Today we're gonna see it. And also like how do I keep them engaged with my company? At the end is like being true to this promise, no? So employer branding is the promise we make to the people about the experience they will live in our company, not what they're gonna be doing, the experience they will live when they're gonna be working in our company. So how do we define this? How do we define like this experience? How do we define what is our employer brand? No, because when we talk about employer brand, a lot of times it's a bit fuzzy, this word. No, everybody understands some stuff. Oh, it's cool pictures about the company. It's the career side. No, this is not what branding is. If we talk about brands, it's like brands are not like a website. They are not pictures. It's a concept that needs to be built and needs to be communicated. We need to communicate it. But in order to define what is our employer brand, because either we work on it, either we build it, either we communicate it, we already have a brand. All the brands have already a brand. They can be like with a little meaning, or they can be with a big meaning. No, everybody understands the values behind a brand. So here's the same. So how do we define it? First, we need to establish what's our purpose, what's our company purpose. That is the same for the customers than for our teams of people. So it's the same. Why do we exist? Now we're going to be talking about this, and also Alex in previous sessions he's been talking about this purpose. So we need it again, because I think it's like the cornerstone of our projects. It's like the main reason our company exists. Second will be like our candidate personas. This is the same with our business. When we create a company, we know who is our target. No, we know who is our ideal customers. That we have to define this. What are our ideal customers? In this case, when we are talking about people, when you are talking about our teams, we transform it into candidate personas. And third, with this information, when we create our employee value proposition, which is the end is like the value proposition. As a company, when you start a service, when you start a company, you have a value proposition for your customers. So here's the same. You're selling a product that is working in your company. So you have a promise for them, that's your employer branding, and you need a value proposition in order to convince them to work for you, and also like to keep buying from you, which is like to keep working with you and with your project. So now we're gonna deep in every single step. So my first question to you, and I would love if you are in the chat of either in YouTube or in LinkedIn, if you can answer, is like, what if your company didn't have to make money? Because at the end, money for me, and like taking it from Simon Sinek, is the result, is the gasoline, is the fuel that makes our company running. It's why will exist? Why your company will exist if it didn't have to make money? What is the main reason? What is the purpose at the end of your company? Do you know it? Like, if you make yourself this question, it's like, oh, why my company exists? Sometimes when the companies are small or they are recently created, they have it really clear why they exist. But sometimes big corporate companies, they become super financial that they forget, or they don't know why they exist, what's their purpose, no? What's their cause, what's their belief. So and Alex in the first masterclass we did, he's talking about the purpose and how we can define a purpose. So I will suggest you to watch this talk. But I would love if you in the chat can if you know the purpose of your company, you can share it. That will be cool. But the first thing we need to define is our purpose, because what we see, and it was like a study from LinkedIn that says like 2 out of 3 people expects to join a company, or the one they think about changing projects, to have like a meaningful purpose. So people want that. People want to know about the culture, want to know about the values, and want to know about the purpose. So if we don't have it, that is one piece that we're missing. So Miguel is sharing with us that to transform Africa by developing 3 million young and entrepreneurial leaders. So he is explaining the purpose and also like how they want to achieve this purpose. No, so at the end it's like why your company exists. Do we have it clear? So we need to define this. Talk to someone, maybe talk to the founders why they created the company in the first place. So that's in order to create this purpose, this statement, but it has to be real. No, so. And then you need to communicate this purpose, because this purpose is what will make people join you no matter what, or will attract people that believe what you believe, and will keep people engaged because they are passionate about what you do. No, Inés also is sharing the purpose of her company is like to connect talent with companies. He will say like for what is like what you want to achieve. That is almost what you do. Is like that is like our purpose, and it's really good example. Inés, thank you for sharing. But at the end, it's like that's what we do. That is what we connect people by doing this, and how we do it. But at the end, what is their purpose? Okay, we want to, for instance, my purpose, my personal purpose with my company is like I want people to be happier at their work. What purpose is like we want to transform the way people work in order to people have more meaningful life, and companies thrive in order to want what they want to achieve, in order to have like a more impact in society, a positive impact in society. So this is what we want to achieve. Will we achieve it? Well, will achieve that everybody is happy at their job? No, but this is my direction. Whenever we start initiative, and I don't want to be talking a lot about this because Alex already talked about this, but at the end it's like, why do we do this? Why do we connect people? Why do we want to transform Africa? In order to what? So that will be our main purpose, our main cause as why we exist. No, and I want to show you examples, and I want to show you a controversial example about like the power of this when we attract talent. That is the Tesla example. I'm gonna put it like in big. So when you go to their career site, the first thing they show to you, the content that appears in one big image, and then appears this Tesla's mission. And Tesla's mission, when you read it, it says like, oh, Tesla's mission is to accelerate the world's transition to a sustainable energy. And then he says like, oh, we hire the world's best and brightest people to make this future a reality. So at the end, it's like, if you believe, if you want to make the world a transition to sustainable energy, in order to be more sustainable, and you want to make this a reality, Tesla could be your company. And we see this happening. And also Tesla is really, really famous because it came out that the best engineers are working there. The best engineers in the world are going to work there, but they don't have the best working conditions. They work like super long hours in not a really good conditions. They have a boss that they say it's a bit crazy. It's Elon Musk. So and they are underpaid. If they could be earning double, triple of what they earn, the salary, but they choose to work here because they know that here they can make it happen. And in other companies, they don't. So if they believe the purpose, the rest doesn't matter for them. So people join that. It's the same when you join a project that you don't have any salary and you join them just because you believe, or there is something more than just a salary, just working conditions. So we need to communicate this purpose. So Tesla, even though it's not as well known for not having the best working conditions, people keep joining, wants to work there because they are true to their purpose, and the people feel that they are connected to that purpose. Another good example of this is Airbnb. Airbnb, when you go to their career site, the same. When you go to the welcome, the first thing they explain to you is their mission. They want to create a world where anyone can belong anywhere. And in the business side, they are doing it. First, they were renting rooms and stuff like this, and now they created the experience stuff. So everything is related to the purpose, but also like the people they want to hire, the people they want to attract, or the people who work there really believe with this purpose. They really believe into this mission. No, so you want people to believe what you believe and to join, and they will stay working with you because they are passionate about what they're doing. Not because you pay them more salary, not because you have a super nice office. It's because they believe what you believe, and they will work because they will believe that this is the place to achieve the purpose they want to achieve as well. Okay, so enough about purpose. We have Alex talk about this, and now what do we need? And this is the part I love the most, because I think this is the part where everybody overlooks this part, and everybody kind of I don't know, don't go and work this. And in terms of marketing, in terms of sales, everybody works on this really hard. Everybody knows it really well. But in terms of talent, or when we want to attract or when we want to engage with our employees or our teams, we really tend to overlook this, or we don't do this exercise. So at the end, we need to define what are our candidate personas. What is our candidate personas? The different types of talent we want to attract and we want to keep engaged in our company. And this is not defining, they need to have this experience, they need to have this knowledge, these skills. This is like one side of it, but this doesn't help us to keep people engaged or to sell or to attract people. So I want to give you a really simple example. So imagine like a sales guy from a car, like, I don't know, pick whatever car you want. And imagine like a family walks in the store and they say, oh, we want to see this car. So the sales guy, what does he or she does? They show the car. It's like, oh, look at the back of the car, has a lot of space. You can put here like all the stuff for the baby. Here you can put the chair of the baby, super secure. The car is super big, super nice. And then another person walks in, like imagine a young, like 22-year-old single person. And what the sales guy does, he's like, oh, this car goes really fast. Look at the audio. Look how nice it is, how nice it looks. He adapts and he explains, and it's the same car. It's exactly the same car, but he adapts the explanation of the car. He adapts the value proposition of the car to the target he has now. Because if he tried to explain the car the same way to everyone, that explanation won't be relevant. He won't be as successful as it is. So the same happened with the companies. We cannot explain how is it working in our company to the same way to everyone, because it probably, and no, for sure, it won't be the same working in the IT department than working in the marketing department. They will value different stuff. Or imagine people or retail companies. It's not the same working in the stores than working in the headquarters, and the experience they will live, it's completely different. But it's the same company. Yes, it's the same company. But you need to adapt the value proposition to every different talent or kind of person you want to attract. Because what we do now is like, okay, when the hiring manager comes to us, or where us as directors, we define the profile we want to attract. It's like, oh, they need to have this experience, they need to have these skills. But it's the same if I go to a salespeople and I say, hey, you need to sell to CEOs from companies from 200 to 500 people, go sell this product. But they don't know why people buy the product. If I'm trying to sell right now, I don't know, a Louis Vuitton bag, a 2,000 euro bag, I don't know what I will tell people. I know that I have to sell to people or to women that are 45-year-old and they love fashion, but I don't know what to tell them to convince them to buy the product, because I never bought that product and I'm not thinking about buying this product. So I need to talk to customers. I need to talk to people who already bought that product in order to understand what they value in order to buy that product. So with these reasons, now I can go and be much more effective. So why do we need to create a candidate persona? First, to create an employee value proposition and an employer branding that is relevant. Okay, because the way we're creating right now the employer brand strategies, they are not relevant. We try to reach with one message everyone. That's really difficult. That's really difficult in order to be relevant, because we try to hire people from different departments, what they value is completely different between each other, and we go with the same message. Or sometimes we don't even address that. We don't even talk about how is it working in the company. We talk straight to what will this person will be doing. And they are not engaged with your company. They are not attracted to what they're going to be doing. If not, how is it working in your company? Why they should join you, okay? Second, by doing this exercise and building our employer brand and applying the inbound recruiting methodology, but with this information, we will increase the ratio of adequacy of the candidates who apply to our job offers. Why? Because we put more relevant information in our job offers, in our job ads, in our content, because we know what they value. We talk directly about the stuff that people want to know. Okay. And third, we can convince better the candidates. When we talk to candidates on the phone, we know exactly why people work. Sometimes when I talk to IT people, they say like, oh, I don't like recruiters because they don't know what they're talking about. They cannot explain me the details. They go like over this, they try, but that's because they never talk to IT guys. If they go talk to the IT people in their company and they explain everything about what they love in working there, how is it working there, now I'll show you the questions that you can do, then you are super well equipped to convince anyone to work in your company. And you don't have to believe in that. You don't have to think, oh, I will be working here or not. I've been lucky to work in contact centers, like for people who work in contact centers. And what happened, sometimes as recruiters, they were saying like, yeah, Tony, it's really difficult to convince people because I will never work in that position. That position is not for you. This is not for you, but you need to understand why some people are happy working in this position, and you have to sell that. You have to explain that. Because if we work with recruiters, but I think everyone on our company has to sell a product that is working in the company. And we have to sell that product. If we want the best talent, we have to keep selling. And once we have the people working with us, we have to keep selling the value proposition. We have to keep selling why it's cool to work with us. Because that's the same when you are with your girlfriend or boyfriend for 5 years. If you never talk about how cool it is until you break up, you don't realize how cool it was to be with that person. So as a company, we need to communicate this value proposition all the time in order to keep people engaged and to make them see how cool is working in our company. Okay, that is the benefits of doing the candidate persona. Now we will see how we do this. How do we do this? First is like asking questions. We need to ask our ideal candidate or ideal people that we want to attract or we want to keep engaged. So I will say like, first, if we want to hire people from a profile that I already have in our company, imagine I want to hire tech people and I have already an IT talent, an IT, or we have developers or backends, or we have salespeople, I don't care. Like whatever you want to hire, like go to that team and ask like, what is the people that we would like to clone? Because they're happy, they're engaged, and this is the kind of people we want in our company. And we go and we only ask them, okay? Because we want to know what makes them happy working there, what makes them engaged, because we already have people happy in our company. So I need to know why they're happy. And second, if we don't have this profile, imagine that, I don't know, I'm opening a new line or I'm hiring a VP of whatever, and I'll never hire a VP of this, and I don't know what they value. So I would ask people, if we go to LinkedIn to do headhunting, we look for VP of sales. So instead of saying, hey, I look at your profile and I want to do an interview with you, I would say, hey, I look at your profile, I think it's really cool. I'd love to talk to you so you can explain what you value in the projects, because I'm trying to hire you, someone like you, and I would love to have your input about why you value. I want to know your experience. Promise, I won't try to hire you. I just want to know what you think. And believe me, people love to talk about themselves. That works. And also then maybe you can convince them to work and to come and join your company. That happened. But you need to talk to them. You need, if I now start a company and I don't have any customer, what I need to do is to talk to my ideal customers, to know what they value, to know what are their needs, and in order to create a really relevant value proposition. Because if I create a value proposition thinking, no, I already know what they think, and I never talk to them, my product, my value proposition won't be as successful as it could be. So the important here is like, we don't create these candidate persona profiles based on our ideas, based on our knowledge. I've been working in projects that some HR people or some recruiters, they've been working with the same profile for 12 years. And they say, Tony, I know what they value. We've done this exercise. They say like, I'm super surprised. I never thought that they will valuing this kind of stuff about our company. So this is the cool part of it. And also it's a really cool exercise. So what do we ask them? So this is like some questions that I use in my projects. So first is like, what do you like about working with us? Why do you like working? What do you like about working in our company? And they will explain you the different reasons. You can even like answer this. What do you like about working in your company? And you will say, oh, maybe I like the environment, maybe I'm learning a lot, maybe I like the impact I'm having, maybe I like the freedom that I have, or maybe I like because everybody listens to my opinions and I see this happening, whatever. So they will explain you. And also it's really important to get the why they value this. If they say, oh, I value the colleagues I have, why do you value them? What is special about them? Why here and not somewhere else? Okay, we need to go deep in order to create a really successful value proposition. Other questions, what do you value about your peers, your colleagues? What are the things you value? Why do you value them? Or what motivates you to work here? What are the reasons that motivate you? What makes you wake up in the morning and be happy to come work here? Oh, this and this and this. We need these reasons. That's what makes people happy. So we need to know these reasons from them, because salespeople will say one thing, IT people will say one other thing, marketing people will say another thing. We need to know. If we work like retail people, they will say another thing. Everybody knows really well why they are working, why they are happy working there, and probably will be different reasons. But we need these reasons. In order, if we need to sell to them, we need to sell them these reasons. Or what interests you the most about this position? What is interesting about this position? Or why you would recommend someone working in our company? Give me 3 reasons and explain me why. Why you would recommend. These reasons are gold for you, because they are telling you exactly why you have to tell someone in order to convince them. Okay? So I suggest you to do that, and also are really cool to do these kind of interviews, because it's the same when you to your boyfriend and your girlfriend. You can try it tonight if you want. You go, it's like, why do you love me? And you will see that the smile that they put in your face, and the conversation will be super nice. So it's the same. You go to our people in our company, and you as a CEO, you can go there and say like, hey, why do you like working here? And I suggest to do interviews one by one, not in a group, because they condition themselves. So do it one by one. And believe me, people, they end up these interviews by thanking you for having this interview. They feel appreciated. They feel recognized by these interviews. So do them. Believe me, you will really enjoy it. And this is like the really summarized idea of what we will get. So this was a project I did with for Tech Talent. And when I was asking backend developers about what they love working in that company, the people will say like, oh, I love because I'm learning so much. People comment on what you're working. People help you, send you link. They're really specific things. They value the learning part. They value the impact they have. And it's like, why you value this? Oh, because I'm seeing that ideas that they start from nothing, they grow up, or the challenge because I'm working in this sector that is really challenging. Why is it challenging? Oh, because we are like developing this kind of, I need to know the whys. Okay, the good atmosphere. What makes you a good atmosphere? Everybody says we have a good atmosphere. What is a good atmosphere here? Oh, we make constant joke, we make memes, and why is this important? Oh, because that builds our confidence between each other. You can show yourself vulnerable, and we need these reasons. Because if I want to convince backend developers to work in our company, if I only go with their task and my requirements, I won't convince them. They don't care about this. They care about this. This is the reasons your backend developers are happy working with you. So sell them outside. This is the reasons you convince. So it's like this, the salespeople, these are the reasons they need in order to, if you're a recruiter, you are salespeople. If you're a CEO trying to hire people for your company, you need to know the value proposition, not just the purpose on why you are wanting to achieve. That's really cool as a company, but we also need the value proposition specifically for the profile. Okay? And this, when we don't have the specific buyer persona, the specific candidate that we want to interview in our company, we can go on LinkedIn, try to reach people like the same. I want to interview senior programmers. I need to understand what they value. I don't have them or things sharing like that company is super cool to work in. Obviously, it was if Hortensia, since she said that it was Streamlux, the project we did with them with the developer from them. So we need this information in order to create a value proposition. Because if I know what they value, if I know that people in the senior programmers, what they value is to work in an innovative and modern company, they value to have good working hours, to have career projection, to be agile. I know what I can explain to them in order to convince them. And I need to know their worries. What are the things that they're worried about? So I need to know all this information. So, okay, what makes a senior programmer want to change their job? Oh, because they feel stagnant at their work, or they work for projects that start from scratch, or they don't give them the opportunity to unleash their creativity. And maybe we do offer this. So I need to know these reasons in order that when I write job offers, when I do whatever, I have this information in mind. I need to know what my customer, the candidate, the people that I want to attract and I want to make them love work with us really value. No? And also, like, what is the things that will make them decide? What are their expectations in a new work? All of these reasons. So if I know all of these reasons, I need to talk about these reasons, because that is what made me successful. Look at the job offers your team creates. Do they talk about all this kind of stuff? This is like an example. It doesn't mean like you have to talk about this. Do we talk about this stuff that people really cares about working in our company, in our project, or we talk about the stuff that we want to explain? So that is what will make us successful. And also the barriers they have. Also, like the things that they don't like during in this case a recruitment project. Oh, they ask me for a long technical test, or we have like a lot of offers that are meaningless, or the recruiter is really boring and they don't give me any information about the job offer or the company. These are the things that people are worried about. So we need to attack these reasons. Okay. And now with all these answers, when we have all these answers, both we can use like the market answers and also like the answer from our people. Then we gather all together. We gather all the benefits that they all say about working in our company, and there is when we can create the value proposition. But the value proposition is created by the answers of the people, not by what I think from as a CEO or as a manager that the value proposition should be. No, the value proposition is created by the people that are already buying your product, the people that are already working for you and they are happy working for you, not what you think, because that's your opinion, that's what you think, but not what your customer is valuing. So it's important to do the exercise. And now we come to create the value proposition. What is the employee value proposition? That sometimes, again, when I listen to talks about in the HR world, basically that they talk about, always it's really fuzzy, always it's no, employee value proposition is this, is that. Employee proposition is and now I'm coming back. What is the value proposition? Value proposition is the answer to why somebody should work for you. Is this, what are the reasons someone should work for you? That's your employee value proposition for every kind of profile. And you need to have a really powerful employee value proposition for each type of profile you want to attract. And that's it. That's it. So how do I know what people value? By doing the candidate persona exercise. Okay. So and at the end, you won't only use one value proposition for everyone. We talk about this. We will create different value propositions depending the different people we want to attract and engage. If we need to attract people from the sales department or for the marketing department, we need to create a value proposition for the sales department and another one for the marketing department, because probably the value proposition will be different. Salespeople will value certain stuff and marketing people will value certain stuff. And we need to explain and have like different pitches. The same, if you talk to the salespeople in your company, they will explain you that they don't have just one only pitch. They have like different pitches for the different customers they have for your product or for your services. So here is the same. So how we create what are the different types of employee value propositions? We can have one as a company, we can have one for a team or for a department, and we have one for one position or one profile. And then obviously we can have one for a country, we can have one for types of seniority, for people who are interns. We have different employee value propositions. How do we create them? Okay, how do we create them? We create them from bottoms up, not from tops down, bottoms up. So first we create for position. So if I'm hiring people in sales, okay, the SDR or the sales consultant or whatever is the position, or I'm creating value propositions for the IT department. So people come from QA, from backend, from front end. What do they say? So we'll have one value proposition for each position, because when we create job positions, we're creating landing pages. We talk about this in the email recruiting masterclass. But we need these reasons. So all the time we're creating a job position, we're creating a value proposition, because in the job position, what you're trying to achieve is to convince someone to work for you. That is your goal. It's not to explain all the job offer, it's to explain exactly why somebody should join your company, why somebody should join in that position. So from that positions, I have the backend, front end, and the QA. All the reasons that all of them are the same. So if they value all of them, they value the learning, all of them value the impact, all of them value, that will be the value proposition of that department, of the IT department. Because no matter what, in what position you go, that value proposition will be true. That value proposition will be relevant and will be true. The most important thing will be true. If I come tomorrow and I come for that reasons that you put in your website, for that reasons that you put in the job offer, it will be true, because that's what people said, not what from HR or as a CEO I created, or as a manager I created, and I make a promise that I don't know if it's already true or not. No. I create the value propositions based on what people already said, based on what they said, and they are saying it right now, why they are happy right now. So if somebody comes tomorrow, that will be true, and they will love to work for our company. If we have someone that joins our company after a month, they leave, that means that your promise was not true. And sometimes that happens. A lot of people say, oh, the employer brand sounds super nice, but then what happened is not true. Doing it this way, it's impossible that it's not true, because you didn't create it. You create it based on the answers of them. So, okay, we have the value proposition of the team, the IT team, and then we gather the different reasons of the different departments, and all the reasons that are the same in the sales team, the marketing team, or the IT team, the reasons that all of them match, if all of them say the same reasons, this is the value proposition of the company. Because no matter in what position you enter, no matter in what department you enter, you will be living that experience. Okay, so this is the way we create the value proposition, and that we can create this for countries. So it's that easy. It's that easy. Believe me, it's that easy. Sometimes it's like, we overcomplicate it. No, we need to do super difficult. It's that easy. We need to talk to our people. Okay, it's that easy. And then you can create it here, like cheers to Streamlabs, that they created a really cool value proposition. They explain it super well specified, and they put the example so you can understand what will be the experience by working with them, and you communicate it. And at the end, the employer brand is the communication of the promise of the experience you will be living, and communication of the different attributes of the value proposition. So all the reasons that people tell you about how is it working in your company, that is your employer brand. Okay, this is the promise of the experience people will live. And then once you have this defined, it comes. Now you can attract the best talent and have people engage with your company, because you will know the reasons why people work in your company. So you have to keep them engaged with these reasons, not trying to do programs, no. You have to reinforce the reasons that why people are happy in your company, and also like communicate these reasons. And how do we communicate these reasons? With the inbound recruiting methodology. So employer branding is defining the employer brand, why they should work with you. And inbound recruiting is the process of communicating it. And if you want to know how to communicate it, how to attract talent, and how to use the different channels, I suggest you, and we'll put the link here about the other masterclass we did about inbound recruiting, which is the process of communicating. Okay, this is the different phases. I'm gonna put it in big. So you create the career site, the social media, you create the job offers, you do campaigns in social media, you do outbound, but with this all material, the candidate experience, everything. Okay, this is the main idea. So I hope it was useful. And now we're gonna invite back Mickey here. So, and we can discuss. And also,